Don't miss it Friday right here on Undisputed. Looking forward to that. But let's get to the Rockets and Warriors first. They're playing Game 2 tonight at Oracle, but people are still talking about Game 1 and the refs. James Harden did not get a foul call in the closing seconds, and Houston complained that it should have been. The NBA released their last 2-minute report yesterday and agreed that the officials were correct with the no call. But the report also said that Steph Curry should have been called for 2 separate fouls in the closing minutes, and either one would have resulted in him fouling out. Steve Kerr said there's been too much focus on the officiating, and then trolled James Harden a little bit yesterday. Take a listen.
Hang on.
Who's that foul on? Is that a man?
That was on end, yeah.
What do you think about noise coming out of Houston's camp?
It's disappointing because the focus should be on two teams who played extremely hard. I mean, watching the tape, both teams just got after it and competed. But we just watched the tape upstairs. You don't think there were 10 calls that we thought we got fouled? I mean, this is how it goes. And every coach in the league will tell you the same thing. You watch the tape and you go, man, that's a foul, that's a foul. That's the nature of the game.
FS1 NBA analyst Cris Broussard with us this morning. So, Chris, who wins Game 2 tonight?
Golden State. I say that with confidence. I think Golden State's problem all year has been complacency, lack of focus, boredom, including last round against the Clippers at times. And I don't think that's going to be an issue in this series. I don't think they'll get bored. One, because they know Houston is a legitimate opponent. But two, because I think they are really sick and tired of the Rockets whining and complaining, all the way back to belittling what they did last year when they beat them in 7. I mean, when that report they sent to the league essentially saying you cost us a trip to the NBA Finals and a championship, they said you pretty much cost us. That belittles Golden State's greatness. Right. I think they're tired of that. When I see Steve Kerr come out in a press conference and mock an opponent like that.
Mocked him.
Right.
Yep.
That's totally unnecessary. I'm fine with it. I thought it was great. But that tells me he and his team will be focused. One more thing, too. Houston has a problem in that James Harden, as great as he is not nearly as great in the playoffs. And I don't mean just in elimination games where we've seen him go 2 for 11, 12 turnovers, whatever, right?
No, I'm with you.
His numbers dropped this year. 36 points, 44% shooting in the regular season. Playoffs, 29 points, 36% shooting from 3. 37% regular season,
okay, well, Sunday
33%
didn't help
now.
those numbers.
Right, right. But his last 9 playoff games, he shot 28% from 3. He's going to take a ton of, he'll probably take 12 to 15 of them tonight.
He will.
And if he's not hitting, and I just think, too, we know Scott Foster now, the official, right? I don't think he's going to, do anything untoward toward the Rockets. But I just wonder about them. Mentally, will it be in their head,
Yeah.
As much respect as I have for Chris Paul, I just think sometimes he gets way too in his feelings. Like, at the end of the game, that's unnecessary.
Well,
and I wonder,
over the edge.
Right, he's lucky he's playing.
He's lucky.
He's lucky he's playing. I'm glad he is.
But you saw Steph Curry football tackle Eric Gordon, right? You didn't see that, right?
Well, I saw what the 2-minute report said.
Guys stick together and everything. You and Steph, that's your brother right there. But you saw in football Ray Lewis.
He
look,
did.
I'm going to take the Rockets because I believe the refs will be on guard. Even if they don't read the paper, even if they don't watch shows like ours, Skip, they watch that game tape and they go back. Klay Thompson goes close out, he fouled James Harden.
They watch our show.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, good. They should be watching. Sean Wright, I know he watches. That's my he unofficially. He ref last night. He won't do this game. It's hard for me to believe that Clint Capella and P.J. Tucker will combine for 6 points. Okay, my bad. 4 points. 4 points.
Well, let me counter that. It's hard for me to believe that Steph and Klay will combine for 5 threes.
Okay, but here's the
31 points.
Here's the thing. Can we get Eric Gordon and CP3 to offset that?
Maybe.
Because Draymond is what beat. Because Draymond almost had a triple-double.
He played really well.
He outplayed Clint Capella. Capella can't let Draymond beat him up on the boards like that.
Yeah.
They got two, because when they go small, they take Capella out. They go small. Now they're at a disadvantage. You got to pound them. And you know what? They will keep Steph Curry in the pick and roll. Right. Normally, you want a big. You want Draymond or you want KD. Whomever Steph Curry, you watch him. Whomever Steph Curry's guarding, that's who's calling for the pick. That's James Harden or CP3. They want Steph Curry. You got to make him work. Because if you let him coast on defense, he will light your butt up on offense.
Well, he is the fouling demon. That's all I know, isn't he?
He is. He's grabby.
He's the baby-faced assassin. They let him get away with a lot of stuff because that's a little Steph. He can't foul it. He can't tackle anybody.
Oh, yeah, that's so big. It's just so hard to officiate.
Hard, yeah, okay.
Y'all stick together too quick. I noticed that.
I'm going to say this again. For once, I so hope you're right. I picked the Rockets to dethrone Golden State in this series. And everything was on game one. And I think they thought everything was on game one. They went out early to adjust to the time change and have a full practice at Oracle to be ready and rested while Golden State had to play Friday night and tough it out against the Clippers and come back for an early Sunday game, early afternoon, was it like 12:30 Pacific time? This was it. You had them. You had Steph and Clay with ankle injuries. I don't know how bad they were, but something. This is the one, you don't steal it, you just go win it. And if you win it, you're going to make Golden State play uphill the rest of the series. And to your point, Chris, I think that not just Golden State is sick and tired of Houston. I think the NBA got sick and tired of Houston because they spent the whole offseason going second and third level with analytics and just resounding, convincing, statistical breakdown. You robbed us in Game 7 last year. Game 7, you robbed us on our home court. And the NBA turned right around and robbed them even worse in Game 1. That's just me, because the more I look at the tape, the more I look at these calls, there were 6 non-calls. And James Harden isn't just a good free throw shooter. He's an all-time great free throw shooter. Yeah. He is 88%. High volume free throw shooter. He led the league in makes and takes from the free throw line. Yeah. You don't think he would have made, I don't know, X more? Could he made 10 more, 12 more free throws if you give him the calls that you gave him all year long? It's a 4-point game. And you said yesterday, well, you don't know how it would have played out. I don't know. It's just so many non-calls. And even the last one that the NBA defended as a non-call, Draymond Green, if we could see it one more time because it sticks in my craw, he jumped into his landing space. He jumped sideways, but he body fouled him. The Golden State got away with this new tactic. They got a whole new strategy. There it is. They all jump and they turn. Yeah. They turn to the basket. I've never seen anybody do this, but all of them did it the whole game. Turn your back.
That's leading into the box out.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. Well, okay. You can.
No, my hands up. I ain't fouling.
Somehow it's an optical illusion for referees because they're in their mind's eye. They're saying they've turned completely to face the basket. How can they foul? Well, they can foul with their butt. That's what they're doing. They're butting. They're just. It's a body foul, and they're making sure there's no hand fouls because usually on those it's a hand foul. It's hand to hand up here, right?
Right.
Well, they turn their back completely, and the referee's saying that's okay. And then what's biggest bone of contention for Houston is that the older referees won't honor the new rule. So now we got tonight, Scott Foster's in his 25th year, Ed Malloy's in his 17th year. What is that? Do you think they're going to be hell with that rule? You know, that's not how we referee.
I like you hit it with that T like.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you think the
league
league
be doing that some tonight?
The league is sending them a message.
Yeah.
You think because they choose the rest before the series, but they knew, like you said, Houston's complaining all year, and they did go too far with the. I mean, analytics are good, but they went way over.
They went overboard. Because so now we get the painfully transparent last 2-minute report, and we find out that Steph, and again, I don't know how I didn't see this because I give Steph a break because he's so baby-faced and he's so little. You know, he's just a cuddly little Steph. But look, this is like insult to injured pride when you find out that he should have fouled out with 109 left. 109 left, he just knocks James Harden out of bounds. And then he has the audacity to point down to the line. Yeah, because you knocked him out of bounds. Way to go, Steph. And they didn't call a foul. That should have been foul number 6, right? So then what happens with 26 seconds left? Steph goes down, and you talk about James has come up small. Paul. So has Steph in a lot of playoff games. And to his credit, he made a huge three that he shouldn't have been allowed to make because he should have been disqualified with 6 fouls. So then what happens? We have the James non-call down at the other end, and Chris Paul gets the rebound, and he dribbles around, and he runs into Klay Thompson. But then we didn't even see it. That, to your point, there's a tackle that occurs.
He knocked the man out of bounds. And somebody just go, and then he put it point the other way.
Out of bounds. He knocked it out of bounds.
Look at old Chris looking at him, too.
Okay. Oh, you're out.
I see a good play.
Yeah, I bet you did.
And you know what? Chris Paul didn't see a good play, and I'm convinced that was the play that set him off. Not what happened with him and Klay, but he saw, because he was trying to get the ball to Eric Gordon for a three, right?
Yes.
And he's like, you can't let him get away with that. Boom. And then he bumps into the, okay, now, here we go.
Well, and think how long Steph has been his nemesis.
Yep.
He came into the league kind of as an understudy to Chris Paul.
Yep.
But when Chris was with the Clippers, I mean, they kept they beat the Warriors at times, but, you know, he's always been that guy getting the best of him. So I know he's upset.
He put that move on him. Remember, he went behind his back and made him,
one of the greatest defenders at point guard ever, you made him fall. Houston has a big part of their game plan, though, is drawing fouls.
Yes.
And they have to read this early. Like, look, I agree, Klay was definitely in landing space in the first half a lot.
Yes.
Houston has got to read the officials. Sometimes, like in baseball with strike zone, whatever it may be, football, they're letting you play. You got to recognize in the first quarter, second quarter, okay, they're letting us play. Let's not count on getting these fouls. If we get them, great, but that's too much a part of their game plan.
Okay, so to your point, you say Houston's going to win. The only way they're going to win is if they come out the right way, which is to say, hell with the referees.
Right.
We just have to play through this because we're going to play so well tonight, the referees will become irrelevant. Well, I don't know if they have that, because you'd say motivation or distraction. It feels like they're a little mentally defeated, because it feels like their GM's a little mentally defeated. Well, he's sending the wrong message with all of his tweets like, the NBA's got it in for us. Yeah. There we go.
He's the one saying that. It goes down the...
When Daryl Morey sent that big old printout, that big graphic up to Adam Silver about they cost him the game, Adam Silver sent him, so what is 0 for 27? Where did that play? What role did that play in y'all losing game 7?
No, that's true.
Hey, Skip, you remember you asked me, like, what were you doing over there? I got something for you, Skip.
I don't know if we ever want to know what you're doing over there.
Look what I got, Skip.
Which phone is that?
I got them on LeBrons. Got them.
That's what you're doing during the show?
That was Skip. You know, I had to get them on bronze. Got them.
Thank you for asking if we wanted any, but no worries.
You should wear them out here because you'll lose in those shoes.
You crazy. Yeah. Man, LeBron dropped probably like 60 on somebody in the league.
Did he play in those? I'm getting those too. They are fun.
I'm so glad
No. Where your Jordans?
I got both.
You wear Jordans.
Every Friday I post on IG, I can't lose in these shoes, MJ forever.
Well,
they're all Jordans.
I'm going to start wearing LeBrons. I'm going to start wearing bronze on Friday.
Well, then you should post, I can lose.
No, you're not going to lose. I'm not going to lose.
Because you're going to be 3 and 6 in the finals.
Okay. Can we get back to the show, Shannon?
Yes, what happened?
While you do your shopping in your free time, do the Sixers now have the upper hand after their win?